There. All right, looks like we are raring to go. So welcome everybody to Tuesday night's team call. Hope you're all fired up and nice and warm, and got a hot tea in front of you. I've got a big glass of aloe in front of me, and raring to go. So tonight what we're going to be covering is a couple of things. I guess the first one is what we call Sinaloa, or the abbreviation Sinaloa, but it stands for Safety in Numbers and Law of Averages. And that's something that you really got to understand in this business. And it doesn't really matter what business that you're in, everybody goes through the same thing. But when you understand the safety in numbers and you understand the law of averages and you get this thing down working for you, not against you, Herbalife becomes quite a simple thing, because you're not getting phased out by, the people that aren't going your way straight away, because you understand the Sinaloa effect. So I just want to go through that a little bit with you. And safety in numbers and law of averages, everything that we do in Herbalife and everything we do in life really is a numbers game. And in Herbalife, there's a couple of magic numbers. We have 90 and 10. You'll often hear people talk about a 90-day plan. And what that is really just putting together a little plan of action that you're going to do for 90 days no matter what. And you just get it done. And by consistently getting that stuff done, you start to create, consistency. You start to get some self-belief. You start to get some, stuff happening, but it all becomes because you're consistent. And we base it over 90 days, because 90 days is a good testing time to see if something's going to work or not work. For example, you might be using a particular flyer. Well, if you do it for 90 days, at the end of 90 days, you're going to have some numbers. I did X amount of flyers, got X amount of calls, got X amount of clients. So you can look at those numbers and go, yep, that's a good flyer. I'm going to keep doing it. Or you could look at it and go, well, I didn't really get that many calls, didn't get that many numbers, and I did a lot of flyers. Then you know that the flyer needs changing. So we often talk about a 90-day plan. The other number that we talk to is the magic number 10. And the funny thing is, it doesn't matter who you speak to in Herbalife, those that have been around 3 months, those that have been around about 3 years, those that have been around 30 years, you'll hear these two numbers, 90 and 10, all the time. And the 10 is basically, out of every 10 people that you talk to and have a proper conversation with, 1 or 2 is going to go your way. 1 or 2 out of 10 are pretty well the odds in our business. And I'm going to go through some numbers with you in a moment, just so that you realize that's not just for Herbalife. That's basically for any business in the world. We've also got a sign writing business, and I can tell you now, it's about 10 inquiries before we get 1 or 2 that actually say, yep, we'll go with you guys, because they're out getting quotes from other people. Same with plumbers, same with, anybody that's in the industry, sparkies, electricians, all that type of stuff, chippies, they all go through the same thing. So I want you to get your head around it, and PTs go through this in a really, really big way as well. So it's important that you understand the numbers game. And when it comes up to, questions and objections, the easiest way that I've found in my, short time in this business is to really just stick to the facts. And quite honestly, for most of us, the facts are going to be that first line. I don't know about that. All I know is, because I don't know the person's situation. I don't know what they experienced last time. I don't know what they heard. I don't know where they read it. I don't know where they saw it. I don't know any of that stuff. So to be completely honest, I have to say I really don't know about that. All I know is the things that I do know. I can tell them my testimonial. No one can take that away from me. Okay, whether they believe me or not doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they can't take away my testimonial. You've got the Herbalife facts. Facts are the company's been around 37 years. We're a public listed company, so you can check that out. We're in 90 plus countries, 94 I think it is now. We've got over 70 million people that are using our products on a day-to-day basis. 70 million, that's 3 times the population of Australia. Unbelievable. It's the number 1 shake sold anywhere in the world. It's the number 1 shake. We've got 30% of the shake market. These are just facts. And, we did over $7 billion in sales last year. And then you can just tell them more stories that relate to that particular person. I personally find this the easiest way. I caught up with my surgeon today after, my surgery that I had on my ankle. And Herbalife came into the conversation because I brought it up about the amount of hours that doctors do and how their poor nutrition is. And he had a couple of questions, and I just stuck to my guns and said, look, I've got to be completely honest with you. Here's what I know. I've lost over 15 kilos. I feel absolutely fantastic. And if you give the body what it needs every single day, it's going to respond in a positive way. And, I can tell you some more results. And I just stuck to my guns. I've now got an appointment to see my doctor about Herbalife. He's not booking me in to see him. I've booked him in to see me. So how amazing is that? Because he could see the results that I've had on the products. He can see that I'm healthy. He also got to see all my charts of when I was in hospital and all my recovery and everything that's going on. And he said, I'm very interested in knowing more about this nutrition plan called Herbalife. So you just don't know where those conversations can come up. But I didn't get into any fancy stuff with him. I stuck to my guns. I don't know about that. All I know is, because that's just being completely honest. If I try and baffle him with, BS, then he's going to come back with his thing and it's just going to be, So sticking to your guns might not always get you the client, but it gives you peace of mind and no stress, which is what I like, okay? We've all got the different DMOs that you can do. There's so many different DMOs. You guys are just got to figure out some ways that you got to do it. Be a product of the product, get out to fit clubs, shake parties, weight loss challenges, flyers, talking to people, road shows. There's a million different ways to do Herbalife. You've just got to find 3 or 4 that you like doing and be active in doing them. That's what a daily method of operation is, just being active. You can't expect results if you're not doing any work. That'd be like saying, I want a beautiful garden, but I'm not going to go out and do any weeding. I'm not going to mow the lawns. I'm just going to sit and watch TV, but I really want a beautiful garden. You can't expect it to happen, right? It's like saying you want a clean house, but you never get up and vacuum it clean. Well, good chance it's never going to be clean. So you've got to look at, doing your business exactly the same way. But I want to talk a little bit about the magic number 10. Everything is about planting seeds. And I want you to think about a farmer. Farmers, when they go out and lay the crops, they've got a certain time of the year that they've got to do that. They've got the toughest job in the world because they've got to rely on all the weather and everything that's going on. But there's a certain time of the year that they've got to go out and they've got to plant those seeds. And they will go out and plant thousands and thousands and thousands of seeds out in their paddocks. That's how they get a crop, next season. Now, every conversation you have with somebody is like planting a seed. And you don't know what's going to happen with that seed. Is it going to sprout? Are the birds going to get it? Are the snails going to eat it? Is the cold going to shrivel it up and make it die? But if you put out all these seeds in your garden, you've got to cultivate it. You've got to look after them. You've got to water them. You've got to make sure you keep them nourished. You've got to keep looking after them. And it's the same in this business. But every time you have a conversation, I want you to think about it. It's like pushing a seed into the ground. And if you look after that seed, it could sprout into a beautiful sprout. And if you keep looking after that seed, it could grow into a nice little shrub. And if you keep looking after it, it can turn into a beautiful tree. And if you keep looking after it, all of a sudden the tree bears all this fruit. And if you look after it, my grandma had fruit trees that were producing fruit 30, 40 years later. Grapevines produce fruit for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay, grapevines do. Because if you look after them, they'll keep producing fruit. And I want you to think about building your business, about building that orchid, that every conversation you have has the chance of turning into a beautiful tree and producing fruit for the rest of your life and their life. But you've got to be aware that when you're planting those seeds, the birds are going to come and get some. Their negative friend, their negative partner, their negative boyfriend or girlfriend. What are you starting on that Herbalife for? You don't need that. Just have another beer. You'll be right. Okay. Maybe it's not the right environment. Maybe you're talking to people that are just aren't in the right environment. They're around people that aren't supporting them. They're just in the wrong area. The snails are going to come. Every now and then you're going to have someone that's just going to get eaten up by the snails. There's not much you can do about that. Okay, but here's what I do know. The farmer is aware of all this. Okay, and that's why the farmer just keeps planting seeds, keeps planting seeds year after year after year. He keeps planting seeds. He doesn't just plant one crop and go, okay, I'm sitting back, where's all my apple trees? He's constantly looking after that crop and he's constantly planting those new seeds. That's what having conversations in Herbalife is all about. It's about planting those seeds and having those conversations. So today, by me talking to my doctor, it was just about planting a seed, and he had a good interest in what we're doing. So we lined up a time. Thanks, Josiah. Thanks, buddy. My son just brought me in a nice hot cup of tea. How good's that? So you're live. You want to say hello to everyone? Say hi. Hi. A few. So getting back to where we're at. Every conversation you have is about planting seeds. That's what it is. And that's all I did today. I just planted another seed. Now, today was really look after the seed, because I planted the seed when I first went and saw this surgeon about having my operation, because I was branded up. So he said, you know, Herbalife, I've heard about it before. And we had a little bit of a chat. Then there was the day before my operation. We chatted a little bit there. In fact, I gave him a protein bar. Then there was the day of my surgery, and at my surgery, there just happened to be an article in the paper that day with Dr. Darren Burgess, so I gave him that article to read. And then today, you know, I planted a bit more of that seed and watered it. So the seed was planted about, you know, 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, and now, because I've been watering that seed, it's now come to where I'll have an appointment with him, and we'll go through some products. He's got a little bit of weight to lose. He's pretty fit, but he's wanted to lose about 5 kilos. Excuse me for a minute. Just shutting my door. And he used to be into triathlon, so he wants to get back into that. So you just don't know where those conversations go. But that's called what? Planting the seeds. Okay. And today he had a couple of questions, probably because a couple of birds had got to him and started pecking at him if he had mentioned it about Herbalife. And I just answered them. Like I said, look, I don't know about that. This is what I know. And I just told him some facts, and it goes from there. So you've got to have a little bit of faith in trusting the magic of the numbers. Okay, that number 10. Every 10 is going to get you 1 or 2. Now, the big question is, how quickly do you talk to those 10? Because that's the main thing in Herbalife. It's not how many, you know, the hours that you've got. It's how many people are you speaking to in the shortest possible time frame. Are you talking to 10 people a day? Are you talking to 10 people a week? Are you talking to 10 people a month? Are you talking to 10 people a year? 10 people is going to be 10 people. The time frame you have 100% control on. So now it all starts with an invitation, okay? A good set of words that will get people to have a look. And when and I'm just using the doctor as the example because that happened today, but I can also use Lyndon. Lyndon's a guy that I started on the products today, a guy from the gym. I spoke to him about 3 weeks ago. He was at the gym, and I just said, look, you go pretty hard. What's that in your drink bottle? Because he had some stuff in his drink bottle that was like a purpley color. And he said, oh, it's some semolina thing that I use, and it's meant to give you energy. And I said, how's it going for you? And he goes, oh, I don't know if it really makes any difference at all. And I said, look, I use a green tea. I said, would you like a sample? He said, yeah, I'll take a sample. And I said, well, give me your drink bottle and, use it next time you're here. So the next time he was there, I said, oh, how did you go with that tea? And he said, oh, I tell you what, I think it was pretty good. I said, oh, you've got to try this one as well. This one's actually been put together by Kristen Ronaldo. So I gave him a sample of the CR7. And I said, listen, would you like to get together and have a chat about your goals with your gym? You're obviously working out hard, and maybe some nutrition goals could help. And he said, yeah, I'd love to. So we had our appointment today, and I'll post the picture a bit later, but he got started on a program today. So it was just a simple invitation. Would you like to sit down and have a chat about your nutrition that goes in, line with your working out? It could be along the lines of, if I can show you a way to lose a few kilos, would you be interested? Or whatever it is, you've got to figure out a couple of set of words. There's plenty of, scripts and ideas on our coaches group, but an invitation is just a nice set of words that you feel comfortable in saying, so that somebody goes, yep, I'll have a look. That's all you want them to do. The next thing after that is you expose them, okay? You do a wellness evaluation. You might invite them to an STS. You might invite them to a kick club. You might invite them to whatever it is you're doing. I brought him here to my office, and we did a wellness evaluation. He got on the scales. We did his, visceral fat and all of that. That's what we did. That then leads into what? A client or a coach. I went through the products with him and I said, is there something here that you think might help you? And he says, yeah, I'd love to get started. So he got started on almost a breakfast pack, everything but the multi-V. So he's up and running. So it doesn't matter what they start on. I don't start everybody on a program. If they start on a program, great. I've started plenty of people just on a tub of shake. But through doing my follow-up and looking after that client, all of a sudden they're on the T, all of a sudden they're on the multi-V, then they're on the Allo, and then they're on the Donquai, and then they're on the Lifeline, and you slowly build that up over time. If you're serious about this business, then you're here for the long journey. So I don't have to try and get the person on the product in 30 seconds because I've got the next 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12 months to get them on the product. I've got the next 10 years to get them on the products. Why? Because I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. So if I've got a client that starts on a shake and I look after them and I take care of them, can I slowly upgrade them up to other products? Of course you can. So you've now got a client, okay? And that client turns into what? Them getting a testimonial and a result. And he's going to get a great result. Why? Because I want him to feel comfortable in giving somebody an invitation to come and get exposed, to have a look at our products, to get started as a client, to get a testimonial so they get the confidence to give someone an invitation to come and have get exposed to a presentation, to have a look at what we're doing so that they become a client, so that they get a testimonial, and the circle forever flows, okay? And then you've got the upgrade. And the upgrade is the events. So over the next 3 or 4 weeks with Lyndon, guess what? He'll get invited to an STS. He'll get invited to a kickoff. He'll get invited to a hail. He'll get invited to some form of another presentation where he'll get to hear some other stories, okay? It's the same flow that we all go through, guys. There's no new antiques here. This is what has been done from day one. It's a very simple thing. Invitation, presentation, registration, okay? Or invitation, expose, and upgrade. They're 3 very, very simple steps that if you take everybody through, a lot of magic can happen. I want to talk a little bit about handling the rejection because that's something that you're going to have to get used to because, as I said, you only get 2 out of 10. Maybe 1 out of 10 when you start, okay? 1 or 2, which means you're going to get 8 or 9 saying no. That awful word that makes us all feel awful, okay? 8 or 9 are going to say no. And let's say you're only getting 1, okay? But I want you to think about an owner of a small shop in on Rundle Mall, someone that owns a little shop there, maybe a little clothes shop or a little shoe shop. How many people walk down Rundle Mall? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands every single day. How many walk into that shoe shop? A handful. That's it. Just a handful. Out of thousands of people that walk past that front store day in, day out, day in, day out, it's a handful that actually walk in. And how many times have you gone window shopping? How many times have you walked into a shop, had a look around, and walked back out without buying anything? Everybody does that. So out of that handful of people that actually walk into his shop, he gets even a smaller handful that actually buy some shoes, okay? It's no different for us. The only difference is that it's always, face-to-face with us. If you own a shop and you're working the counter and there's 20 people in your shop and you're serving the lady on the counter, you're not really paying attention to the other 15 or 16 people in your shop. And if they all walked out, you wouldn't sit there and go, oh, no, they all walked out of my shop. You would just continue serving the one client that you've got. And you'd do it with a smile. Hello, thank you, have a great day, bye. And you'd wait till the next person comes in, okay? Imagine if every shop owner shut up shop after 2 weeks because he only made 10 sales and 60 people walked into his shop. Every shop in Adelaide would shut down. Okay, so you've got to think about that. On average, it's only about 10% of people that walk into department stores that actually buy anything. 10%, the real buyers. So it doesn't matter if you've got a shoe shop, a clothes shop, a pie shop, a sushi shop, or you've got a Herbalife shop. There's going to be people that walk past, see what you do, make no comment at all. There's people that are going to walk up to your counter. They're going to look at all your sushi. No, I don't think I feel like sushi. And they're going to walk off. You don't sit there and go, oh, no, she looked at my sushi. She doesn't want it. You just go about your business. You've got to do the same in Herbalife. You've got to not take the rejection personally. And the only difference between a shop and us as Herbalife distributors is that in a shop, people are walking around, there's noise, it's all going on, and they walk out and you don't pay any attention to it, okay? But when it's face-to-face, one-on-one, it's a little bit more confronting, but you've got to learn the skill to get over that, and you will learn the skill. If I can learn it, you can learn it. It's not rocket science, okay? You've just got to do that. But the thing I want you to remember is this 10 sale, and this is a little thing I was sharing with Dallas the other day. This is a little trick that I used to do with myself, especially if we were going out in pairs talking to people. You know, let's say you get one sale and it's $200 worth of product, and you've got to talk to 10 people to get that $200 sale. We used to, when someone would say no, we'd say thank you for the $20. We used to make out that every person would give us $20 because we knew, you know, 20 times 10 is 200. And if we did that to 10 people, then sooner or later one was going to say yes, and they were going to give us the $200. So we would jokingly just look at each other and say, just got another $20, just got another $20, and we'd make a bit of a joke about it. Sometimes we even did it out loud so that the people would hear it. We'd say, hey, how you doing? Just doing a survey on Herbalife. Nah, not interested. No problems. Thanks for your $20. And they'd look back at you and go, what are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Thanks. And they just look at you like you're weird. And then we'd have a bit of a giggle. There's my first $20. What are you up to? Oh, well, I'm up to 40. I'm up to 60. It was just our way of handling the rejection. Whatever tricks of the game you've got to play for your own mind, you just need to do it, okay? Don't take it personally. I still take rejection personally. I probably will to the day I die because I know how much, you know, Herbalife can do for somebody. I know how good somebody can actually feel. And hearing this guy today, Lyndon, you know, I only know him from the gym and I've seen him working out and he goes hard and he's absolutely crazy. Then he started telling me some stuff today and I'm like, oh my God, this guy his life's going to change in the next 2 weeks. I just know it. You know, he's got no energy when he leaves the gym. He has nana naps. He's only in his 30s. He feels run down all the time. He's got constant heartburn all the time. He's got constant indigestion all the time. Just all this stuff that he rattled off. And I'm just thinking there, oh my God, I had no idea. I see this guy in the gym pumping out the iron. He looks pretty fit and healthy. Got some weight to lose, about 15 kilos, but, you know, he's a nice guy. Then he starts rattling off all these health problems that he's got. And I'm just sitting there going, oh, my God, Lyndon, seriously, man, you are going to feel the best you've ever felt in your entire life in the next couple of weeks. And I know he's going to. So when people say no, I feel sad for them because I know they're missing out on something that literally could turn their health around. Okay. And so I still take that personally, but it lasts about 30 seconds and then I just dust it off and I keep moving forward. So that's something that you guys are going to have to figure out for yourself. And that just comes with longevity. The one thing I can't give you is a tablet called experience. Okay. If I had them here, I'd give them all to you for free. Okay. Here, take them, 20 years of experience, just swallow it. And you got 20 years of knowledge and experience. I can't do that. But what I can tell you is that every day, if you keep doing this, you'll get better at it. You'll get more experiences. Some will go good, some will go bad, but you will learn from it. And as you learn, you grow. And as you grow, your business grows with you. So don't worry. You're going to do all absolutely fantastic. Remembering what our job as a health coach is, guys. Just going to have a quick mouthful of tea. Number one, get a noticeable result. That is clear and simple. The first thing the doctor said to me, he said, well, I've got to say one thing, mate. You're an absolute shining example of Herbalife. I said, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay? Because I think I'm pretty good at 51. I'm in good shape. I'm in good nick. And he noticed that straight away. And he said straight out, he said, all your stats, mate, you are well above any 51-year-old that normally comes in here. So you've got to be the best product of yourself that you possibly can. And you've got to keep working on that. I constantly keep working on that. You know, I would love to just have days of eating pies and drinking beers. Okay, I love that stuff. But I also know it doesn't love me. So I've got to be in control of it. It's not in control of me. Because if I go out and, you know, I put on some weight or I'm not feeling good or I'm not, you know, moving forward, then people notice that. It's okay to be overweight, but as long as you're working towards getting that weight off, that's the important thing, right? If someone says, oh, you know, this Herbalife, you know, how's it going for you? And you go, oh, yeah, it's all right. You know, I feel pretty good. And, oh, yeah, it's all right. It's pretty good. Do you want to give it a shot? What do you think their response is going to be? But if you go, oh man, I absolutely love this stuff, I'm telling you, I'm smashing it. You know, just in the last 7 days, I've lost a kilo and I'm feeling great. Why? Do you have an interest in health and nutrition? Talk with some vitality. Talk with some passion. Get a weekly result. I don't care if it's a centimeter that you lost. I don't care if you got out of bed half an hour earlier. This Herbalife stuff, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. I never get up before the alarm, and today I was up 30 minutes before my alarm went off. That never happens for me. You got to get on this stuff. I tell you, I am constantly trying to lose centimeters. In the last week and a half, I've lost 6 centimeters. I've never been able to lose 6 centimeters. Man, you got to get on this stuff. Little things like that. Doesn't matter what your story is, as long as it's a result that you can share with a little bit of passion. Okay? Aim to get you 5 or 7 new clients every month. It's not going to happen every single month. I certainly don't get 5 or 7 every month, but it's my goal to get 5 and 7 every month. I'll get my 7 this month, no problems whatsoever. I'm up to 5 already, and we're only on the 18th of the month, so I'll get another 2, no problems whatsoever. But you've got to keep going for it. Okay, you got to keep going and keep going and keep trying to achieve those goals. And if you fall short, it doesn't matter. Here's what I know: if you go for 5 or 7 and you get 2 or 3, is that better than going for 2 or 3 and getting 1? Of course it is. So set yourself some goals of what you're going to do. Aim to get 1 or 2 new coaches every month, okay? I get most of my coaches come out of my clients. That's where I start to develop people, but I'm also talking to people about the business. We talk about exposing clients. Obviously, I'll go through the promotions a bit later, but STS's kickoff, the online webinar calls. You know, you've got access to these calls every Tuesday night and Monday night that you should be getting people on and getting them exposed to all the information. Attend the big events, the extravaganzas, the leadership weekends. You know, I know Dallas is getting a little bit, super pumped because she's going to her first leadership development weekend, World Team Leadership Development Weekend, where she's going to be in the top 10% of all the Herbalife distributors in Australia in one meeting place in Sydney. It's just going to be absolutely outrageous. So make sure you're promoting and focused on all the next events that are coming up. Oh, that's not meant to be there. Oh, have I gone through it? Oh my gosh, hang on a second. I thought there was another slide to go through. I don't think there is. So I'm going to finish it off on here. You know, keeping it simple. Tonight was a quick call, and I can open up for some questions at the end. We'll take the recording off, but we can open up for some questions. But, you know, just keep it simple, guys. Herbalife is a simple business. I'm not sure why we complicate it so much, but we do. But, you know, the more I do it, the more I realize how many times I've complicated it when I didn't need to. Just focus on your job, which is sharing your testimonials and sharing the product with people. That's all I do. I basically don't talk about the business to anybody, to be honest with you. I just talk about the products to everybody, okay? Because I'm out there to help everybody. Now, out of that, do I identify people that I would love to work with and start to, talk to them a little bit more about it? Absolutely. And I got a very simple invitation with that. Hey, listen, Joe, you're a fantastic bloke. I really like you. I said, you know what? I'd love to be working with you. I got something going on here with a new division that I'm building, and I think someone like you and me could do really well together. Would you like to sit down and have a coffee? And I'll go through, what's happening with Herbalife from a business standpoint. So I identify people, but when it comes to helping people with the products, I'm going to help every single person. Why? Because Mark Hughes from day one, his dream was to get Herbalife into everybody, not to get everybody into Herbalife. He doesn't want everybody doing the business. He wants everybody having a shake, okay, and changing the nutritional habits of the world. And if we go out there thinking more about others than ourselves, your goals will happen automatically. I guarantee you that. One thing I've learned is to receive, you have to give. The more you give, the more you receive. So if you're out there sharing these products with people, I promise you, the good stuff will come back to you. It's just like the farmer planting the seeds. So really, really important, guys, just to keep it simple, focus on your job, share results and mission with everyone, and I promise you that magic will happen. So, guys, thanks very much for being on this particular call. I'm going to stop the recording now, and we'll just go through some of the promotions